Oh, hey, sexy butt. Good morning. Yo, this fucking shit is crazy about this Iran attack killing that war general, army general, whatever. Mm-mm-mm.
America's action, without any doubt, is an act of state terrorism and a violation of Iraq's sovereignty. The murder of people who dedicated their entire lives to fighting tyranny, oppression, terror, and extremism. He and Abu Mahdi al-Muhandis, his martyred comrade, had an outstanding role in the combat of Iraqi and Syrian people against the Islamic State. Perhaps America's action was a response to the pain that this great man had inflicted on them. Qasem destroyed what America had built and nurtured with the assistance of struggles of people of Syria, Iraq, and the region. This was a heavy blow for the U.S. The pure and holy blood of Qasem Soleimani will definitely make the tree of resistance more robust and make Iranian people more united. It will also make U.S. policies more scandalous and less effective than before every day.
When a news story falls through the cracks, Lewis Black catches it for a segment we call Back in Black.
Yo, what up, pimp?
America's action, without any doubt, is an act of state terrorism and a violation of Iraq's sovereignty. The murder of people who dedicated their entire life.
Breaking news from the Middle East, where a U.S. drone strike killed one of Iran's most powerful military leaders overnight. The targeted killing of Major General Qasem Soleimani inside Iraq is a dramatic escalation in the confrontation between the U.S. and Iran. Video, apparently from the aftermath, shows burning wreckage near Baghdad's airport. Soleimani led the powerful Quds force of the Islamic Revolutionary Guards, blamed for killing hundreds of American troops. Iran vows a harsh response. Iran's supreme leader tweeted, quote, severe
Yo, these Kind bars are the best, yo. Man, they got peanuts and salted caramel. They got almonds and cranberries. Fucking walnuts and coconut. This right here is nuts and spices with dark chocolate, almonds, and sea salt. Man, any flavor of these shits you get, they're fucking bomb as shit, yo. They're fucking bomb as hell. And I skimmed over that Albert Pike's letter again, because I read it once before too, and it's like, it's an agenda. It's a laid out program to secure a certain end. Motherfuckers know this shit. And once again, most of these wars are holy wars. Everything is about fucking religion, yo. And that's how they use these religious measures to maintain power and to galvanize the minds of different countries so that they can restructure shit the way that they want that shit to be, yo. That shit is pretty accurate, yo. But if you have the power and ability to organize and shape the world as you see fit currently in the present, then you can predict and project 50, 60, 75, 100 years into the future. How the actions you are currently taking right now, how will this play out 2, 3 generations from now? And if you do it just right, there is no other outcome. You train your following generations to maintain this steady course, to keep the agenda at the utmost importance, and follow through with the fucking plan. And if you follow through with the plan, you're going to come to a designated outcome, and that's what they're seeking, yo. And it is one world government, one language, one religion, one currency, and that's all it's going to be, yo. This is the whole fucking shit towards it. Oh yeah. I say it's just, and that's what people think, like, oh, Obama's gonna change shit. He's not. Trump's gonna change shit. He's not. If Joe Biden gets elected, he'll change shit. He won't. They can't. This plan and strategy's been implemented since the fucking 1800s. They're not gonna fucking stop this shit. And if you try to stop it, they JFK your ass. They Dr. King you. They Malcolm X your ass real quick. You try to step in their way. Why you think Obama ain't get shot at? A nigga, so-called nigga in the White House. Nobody took a shot at him. He's playing along with the fucking game. He's going along to get along. You're not gonna fucking change. Fall guys, that's all they are, yo. You're not making any real decisions. You're a puppet. You're just the person we need to give the speeches, and you can't write your own speech. We're gonna write it for you. Now you can deviate a little bit, but you need to hit the main talking points. And you need to tell these people this and make it fucking convincing. Because if not, we can find somebody else to do the fucking job. You can have a accident. You remember what happened to Princess Diana, right? That can happen to anyone. Just do what the fuck you're told. You go down in history. They'll teach about you in school. And we can get along with our plan. Ow! Boy, them hands quick. Almost dropped my kind bar. You remember that old TV show, The Fall Guy? Just like that. You ain't nothing but a stunt dummy. Not a stunt double. A stunt dummy.
Awaits the criminals who carried out the strike.
This drone strike signals a new U.S. military approach to Iranian threats. Yesterday, a statement by President Trump's Defense Secretary Mark Esper seemed to foreshadow the attack. He said, quote, "We will take preemptive action as well to protect."
Yeah, it was, I remember that lineup too. It was the Fall Guy came on. Then after that, after the Fall Guy went off, it was another, like a cop show about, it was two brothers, and they was cops, called Simon and Simon, or something like that. It was the Fall Guy, then it was Simon and Simon, then the motherfucking A-Team, After the 18 went off, it was something like the Bionic Man or the $6 Million Man. from the Fall Guy. I do kind of remember the Fall Guy having a pretty cool song he's going through. I remember there was one scene in the intro where he was like hanging from a helicopter or some crazy shit. Like, this motherfucker's always getting himself in some crazy ass situations, yo. Oh, I forgot it was that actor, yo. Lee Majors. Y'all don't know about that shit, man. They too young. They AD1, they too young for that shit, bro. They don't remember the Fall Guy. Cyborg, a human being whose original human parts have had to be replaced by another machine. You can make him better, stronger.
Gentlemen, we can rebuild him. We have the technology.
We have the technology.
We have the capability to make the world's first bionic man.
The world's first bionic man.
Steve Austin.
That was Lee Majors too, yo. Lee Majors was the bionic man in the Fall Guy. The funniest thing about this damn show was like he could run super fast, but when he ran fast, it was like they just put it in slow motion. It was weird, like how is he moving fast in slow motion?
Oh God, stop. That is childhood trauma right there. Unless we all want to die. We're gonna have to work together. Hi, boys.
Okay, so fucking what's her name? Harley Quinn has her own movie now. Anyway, what I'm working on today, bro, I'm gonna try to finish outlining, getting this image ready for underpainting, get the outline on there, and then tone that canvas. I got work later this afternoon. I gotta be to work at, I'm supposed to be to work at 2. I probably won't get there until like 3 though. But before that, I need to go. Oh wow, I gotta look over these drawings again, and I really want the print shop to let me know if I need to add more or subtract something, or if they can digitally manipulate the colors and add some stuff on the computer if I need it to be, so I don't have to continue to draw so much. our color and shade so much. If they can just add some color digitally, that'll work better for me. So I might just leave that project where it is, like it is now. I'll take that shit with me to work today and stop by the print shop before I go to work, drop off the drawings, and see what they say about it. If they need me to do more, or if we can go from where we're at right now. And then it's First Friday, so I'll probably be hanging out after work in downtown at the art galleries. I'm supposed to meet this young photographer so we can discuss ways that we can collaborate on some upcoming projects this year. So, got a pretty full day planned. I should just try to find me a job where I can just roll doobies for a living. I roll some pretty good doobies, yo. Yay! Smoking together. I did this weekend, bake. Yo, you know what's better than having a fine ass chick, yo? It's having a fine ass chick who like to smoke weed. That shit make they pussy wet. She fine as fuck. And she like to get high. Word. Oh, that's my type of girl right there. Shit. Coffee Chris on. I don't know where that's at. I didn't see any most creative streamer of 2019 award. Can you link me to that somehow so I can know for a fact that that's what I won? Nobody told me that. That's news to me. And I can roll, nigga. Nice ones. Fat ones. I don't know about that part though. Outrolling me? Come on now, baby girl. That shit is so even. That shit is, it's amazing. It's the best, the very best. Cause I'm good. I'm almost great. Damn these fat fingers. I can't tuck and roll like that. Jelly Jungle. Y'all got some weird names, Coffee Chris and Jelly Jungle. I'm gonna name myself Pastry Prince. So how can I see this? What's up with Jelly Jungle? How can I see this shit? Wow. Wow. Oh, Pastry Prince. Yo. I got it, bro. Let me. I got some brownies in my fridge right now, bro. I just baked brownies the other night. Cookies, cakes. I don't really fuck with pies like that. Certain pies. Pumpkin pie, sweet potato pie. I don't really like baked fruit. You know, peach cobbler, apple pie, cherry pie. Something about my fruits, yo. I don't like hot fruits, hot baked fruits. I need my fruits to be cold and wet and moist. Kind of like MB. I'm just saying, though. Man, I make these fucking... These ginger cookies with dates in it. Oh my god, bro, them shits is the bomb, bro. You like dates? You like ginger? Oh, bro, you love my fucking ginger cookies. The cranberry tart. That shit sound good. With some walnut pecan crust. Ooh. But we might be going to war, guys. Gotta keep listening to the news on this fucking Iran shit.
Back on the Young Turks, I'm enjoying the first day of the new year. Are you?
Oh, yeah. So, especially because we're actually at home.
A way to tragedy. I know mine wouldn't.
Wow!
Eyes out when reporter for Time tweeted out the following. At a private fundraiser last night, Trump talked about meeting Steve Scalise's wife after he was shot. She cried her eyes out when I met her at the hospital that fateful day. I mean, not many wives would react that way to tragedy. I know mine wouldn't.
Wow! Wow! Your wife...
3 days and counting, bro. They said they gotta mourn for a minute. After that mourning is done, it's a wrap, yo. Yeah, there's better be a picture of it too. I knew it was. Nigga, that shit alright. It got a slight curve in it, but it's not bad at all. Now, oh, them pretty palms. Now send me a picture of your hands and your feet. Girl, your hands look soft as fuck, yo. I can imagine them shits gripping the fucking spatula and flipping pancakes. Hands look soft as fuck. God damn, like this nigga shit. Hands and feet, boy. I gotta do some foot fetish shit. Y'all, I don't understand like how much I love pretty toes, yo. Pretty pedicured toes, yo. Them shits is, I don't know. Got things for pretty toes. I paint MB feet. I paint my friend's feet. And I got this other model. She got pretty feet too, but she like, I don't want you to take pictures of my feet. But you go to the fucking nail salon and you get pampered and pedicured and polished up, and so you know they look good. Why don't you want me to paint them shit? I was like, she's weird about that shit. But anyway, I got some ideas, yo. Some shit. I'm gonna do a series called Feet and Fruit. Yeah, say that 3 times fast. Just imagine some pretty toes with some strawberries or some motherfucking like a banana. I'm gonna start giving out my ideas, man. My shit too deep, too complex for motherfuckers. I hate feet. Nigga, you gotta walk, bitch. You love feet. Everybody love feet. You just don't like looking at them. And give me your feet then if you hate feet so much. Let me hold yours. I have an extra set of feet. So when my feet hurt, I'll take mine off, put your feet on. I hate feet. Pretty toes, boy. I love rubbing feet. That's probably because I got ugly hands and feet, so I admire beautiful hands and feet, or in my opinion, what I would consider to be pretty hands and feet, because your nail bed has to be a certain width and a certain length, and it's shaped a certain way, and your fingernails have to be a certain length, and it's weird, like them really, really fucking long ass nails, bro. I hate that shit, bro. Hate that shit so much. I hate bitches with them long fake nails. That shit is drawing as shit, yo. Can't stand that shit. That's why MB so motherfucking fine, yo. She don't need no makeup. None of them fake eyelashes and all that shit, man. None of them fake ass press on nails. She just pretty. She just naturally pretty. Wake up in the morning, get that little coal out of her eye, and she smile and be like, damn, bitch. How you do that? That natural beauty, bro. I swear. If a bitch look good with some sweatpants and a t-shirt, and she's still pretty, you can imagine what she look like dressed up with a little bit of makeup and her hair tossed all in some crazy style. Motherfuckers will fall over that bitch, yo. That's like when I meet a chick, I need you to be fucking feeling comfortable. I don't want to see you at your highest, cause you might wash all that shit off and look like me. Fuck that. Wash your makeup off, take your weave out, all that shit. Bitch, you look like a man. I want to see you without all that shit on first. Then I'll holler at you. You look good, natural. Yeah, you pretty. You pretty. So I can imagine like getting dressed up ain't gonna be a fucking thing. Some of these bitches get dressed up, but they put a whole costume on. You can't even tell. Man, makeup be done so goddamn right. Eyebrows on fleek. Lashes curled to the max. Motherfucking hair pulled back so fucking tight, boy. Like she got a facelift. Push up bra. Boobs, right? She got that fucking girder or whatever on underneath that shit, sucking in all her baby fat and cellulite. Motherfucking apple bottoms push that ass up and shit, and plus she walking on them 3-inch heels, make her ass look even higher. Man, you get that bitch naked and wash her face, you look like my damn nephew, motherfucker. Why you ain't tell me that shit, bitch? I can't get hard for you. You take the bra off, the titties hit your motherfucking belly, your belly pop out like you're stealing a pack of buns and shit. Like, what you doing? Why is you deceiving me like that? That's what I'm saying, yo. That shit is crazy. You don't need all that. You know what I'm saying? What you need to do every morning is motherfucking steam your face, open them pores up, and fucking goddamn exfoliate and moisturize and hydrate and put some kind of good oils or something. You don't need all that makeup caking up your fucking pores, and then you wonder why you got pimples and ingrown hairs looking like a dude. Bitch, you can't paint over them pimples. That's what fucking your shit up. Trying to paint your pimples so it blend in. Bitch, you need to wash your damn face. Get that shit off. You got that shit on your face for 10 hours a day. And you work at fucking McDonald's. You stupid. Who? Ron? I don't know what he talking about. That's a weird comment. But yeah, goddamn. I prefer a natural, just some natural shit, yo. I like natural beauty. I'm gonna hit this shit one more time, yo. I'm about fucked up. Can't get too fucked up. Oh, you know what I meant to do? Fuck. I really meant to start my laundry while I was up here chilling. And then by the time I went downstairs, I could have just threw that shit in the motherfucking dryer. Yes. You gotta keep sending me pictures though. More pictures. I really do need to, cause I did 2 drawings of you, 3 drawings of you. I did 3 drawings and 1 painting. But I started like another drawing of you and I never actually finished that shit for some reason. I don't know why, but I definitely want to do another painting of you and probably on a larger canvas, probably a canvas this size right here that I'm using now. But we gotta get some really good pictures though. The only place she's going is the fucking KFC. Motherfuckers be weird, yo. But that's society and society's standards of European beauty, and it's a fucking weird ass thing. Like the image that women try to live up to, especially women of color. It's like motherfuckers want to bleach their skin and dye their hair blonde or put blonde wigs and weaves on, and it's like, whoa, bitch, what you doing? They want to wear fucking gray and green and blue contacts. Okay. Yeah. I keep forgetting, yo, since I really have not drawn in this gray tablet. I'm like, yo, I got that gray tablet. I'm gonna fucking kill that shit. And I got like 3 drawings in this bitch, yo. Wow, that's crazy. In 2 fucking years. Yeah, that shit says 2018. What the fuck? Yo, we getting old together, boo. We've been knowing each other for a long time, boo. That shit old as shit. Yeah, it's 2 years ago. Let's see, this is actually a picture of you too. I don't know why I didn't finish that one though. I don't really like showing people how I draw though. Honestly, yo, I be wanting motherfuckers to pay for that shit. I got a Patreon channel, yo. You can donate to my Patreon, and I got videos of me drawing. and how I get from square one, how I space the eyes out. Cause I can do the grid. The grid method is easy. Like if you grid your photograph and then you grid your paper and then you just look at your photograph and draw that square and draw it in the square and then you draw all the squares and then you'll get a picture. But I don't really do that shit a lot. I just freehand. And I'm not as good as a lot of freehand artists, but I'm pretty fucking good at just freehanding. It's really all about the eyes. If you can get the eyes right, practice. Practice. I'm telling you. So if I had more subscribers to my Patreon, I had a couple of subscribers and they left, and so I don't really put no videos on there because nobody wants to pay for like drawing tutorials. But I'm more than willing to do fucking drawing tutorials. But I mean, you guys have heard me say multiple times that drawing is way fucking harder than painting. You can't paint shit if you ain't got the shit to fucking draw. If you can't get that bitch on your damn canvas, you just gonna do some abstract shit. And lines and splatters and colors and but if you want to do anything, you gotta know how to draw. Now I learned a lot of painting by myself, just trying shit. But I would say that I have been taught how to paint. Nobody taught me how to fucking draw, yo. I don't think. I mean, I think you can teach people how to draw, but a person has to want to learn and already is drawing and likes it and want to learn how to get better. And that's what I noticed, like, because I've given a few classes before, and like even I helped with my middle school art teacher invited me to give a talk to her current students because she still teaches. And you can just tell, like, the kids who like art and who want to draw, and you can teach those kids, and the kids who just have no joy of that shit at all, and they're not going to do good work, they're not going to really do good projects, and they're not going to learn. And it's like some people just don't like that shit. But for me, like, I feel like nobody taught me that shit. Like, those are my earliest fucking memories from as early as anybody can remember. 3, 4 years old, 5 years old. Like, I just used to like to color and draw, yo. Color and I remember, like, the first few times I got damn I had colored up a whole fucking coloring book, and I ain't had no more coloring books. So I just took a piece of paper, and then I drew the picture from the coloring book onto the paper, and then colored that bitch. Well, I was like 5 years old doing that shit, yo. Like, but nobody never really taught me how to do that shit. Right. And that's the thing, like, I feel bad now, like, shit, for years. Like I say, that fucking drawing is from 2018. Like, I don't draw as much as I used to. I really don't. Really don't fucking draw like that anymore. But not really detailed shit. But it is what it is. I really wanna yeah, you know what, MB? I might definitely goddamn start another drawing of you this weekend. Just cause I have all these good supplies and pencils and my gray pad, and it's like, use that shit, nigga. I even brought like another mechanical pencil. Like most mechanical pencils, the lead size is I don't know if it's I guess the diameter of the lead size is 0.7 or 0.5, but like most on the shelves you can't really find like 0.3s. But I ordered a fucking a .3 mechanical pencil, a little thin ass fucking piece of lead, yo. Like you can do some really fine details with that shit, yo. But the lead is so thin, like you can't hardly pump a lot of that shit out the pencil because that shit snaps immediately. Like that shit is so fragile. You gotta like pump like fucking couple millimeters out of that shit and just use that shit.
Forces to protect American lives. The game has changed, end quote. We have a team of correspondents in the Middle East and at home covering every major angle, including Iran's potential military response, the White House strategy, and the growing controversy in Congress. And we're going to begin with David Martin at the Pentagon for us. David, good morning. So what's at stake here?
Well, this opens a dangerous new chapter in the long-running confrontation between the U.S. and Iran. The drone strike eliminated a key enemy, but it could also put Americans throughout the Middle East at greater risk. Iran's state television confirmed General Qasem Soleimani's death overnight. A deputy commander of Iranian-backed militias, Abu Mahdi al-Muhandis, a close advisor to Soleimani, who was sanctioned by the U.S. for violence against Americans, was also killed. Unverified video from the scene near Baghdad International Airport shows the wreckage of two vehicles. President Trump authorized the Thursday airstrike as part of his maximum pressure campaign, which has intensified in recent months. In a statement, the Pentagon blamed Soleimani for the deaths of hundreds of American service members, writing, "He was actively developing plans to attack American diplomats and service members in Iraq and throughout the region." The U.S. blames Soleimani for orchestrating the rocket attack on an Iraqi military base that killed an American contractor last month, and for approving the attack on the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad earlier this week. Retired General David Petraeus, who commanded American forces during the war in Iraq, called Soleimani our most significant and evil adversary in the greater Middle East. Seen as a terrorist in the U.S., Soleimani was respected in Iran and tried to reshape its influence in the region. He had the backing of Iran's supreme leader and was the head of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard's Quds Force, a U.S. designated terrorist organization that armed and trained Iraqi Shiite militias responsible for killing U.S. troops.
Enough is enough.
Earlier in the day, Defense Secretary Mark Esper said Iran may be planning new attacks against the U.S. and that the game has changed.
This is part of Iran's malign behavior that they've been spreading across the region from Africa all the way through the Middle East into Afghanistan now for 40 years. And it's this type of bad behavior that simply needs to end.
President Trump warned earlier this week Iran would pay a price, but he did not want war.
I don't think that would be a good idea for Iran. It wouldn't last very long. Do I want to? No. I want to have peace. I like peace.
The U.S. military throughout the Middle East has been ordered to hunker down and be ready for Iranian retaliation. Jerika?
David Martin, force at the Pentagon.
his black brothers and sisters have suffered down the years. He has been even more bitter about America's Jews.
So no, I will never register as a foreign agent because I'm not that.
Farrakhan says he does not worry about what the government thinks of his traveling to terror.
Conversation with him if I'm subpoenaed before Congress.
That subpoena to talk to the Congress.
To force these people into a system of government that you just have accepted. 30 years ago, black folk got the right to vote. You're not in any moral position to tell anybody how corrupt they are. You should be quiet and let those of us who know our people go there and help them get out of that condition. But America should keep her mouth shut wherever there's a corrupt regime, as much hell as America has raised on the earth. No, I will not allow America, or you, Mr. Wallace, to condemn them as the most corrupt nation on earth when you have spilled the blood of human beings. Has Nigeria dropped an atomic bomb and killed people in Hiroshima and Nagasaki? Have they killed off millions of Native Americans? How dare you put yourself in that position as a moral judge? I think you should keep quiet, because with that much blood on America's hands, you have no right to speak. I will speak because I don't have that blood on my hand. Yes, there's corruption there. Yes, there's
That's the only thing that I see about America, though. Like, oh, they're terrorists, they're this, they're that. Motherfucker, America's the biggest terrorist, yo. I think people just get tired of us invading their fucking countries, yo, and setting up puppet presidents and politicians in their fucking countries. That's all that shit is, yo. And these motherfuckers is striking the fuck back. And like Trump said, like, everybody knows all we got is our fucking military, yo. Oh, I don't think they would really want that, because it wouldn't last long. Yeah, it probably wouldn't last long, because you'll bomb these motherfuckers out of existence. Yo, Farrakhan hit him with that shit, yo, because they weren't talking about the Middle East. I think they were talking about some shit in Africa, but still, he was like, yo, nigga, America, don't you ever open your mouth. You need to be quiet and don't. Oh, he talking about it's one of the most corrupt regimes in the world. Who the fuck are you to call any other regime corrupt? As much blood as you spilled, nigga, you done drop atomic bombs on motherfuckers. And you try to talk about somebody else is the most evil and the most corrupt. Get the fuck out of here. Shut up on that shit, bro. You don't have the right to speak on that shit. America should never be able to call any other nation corrupt. And we still just using fucking all these pseudo geopolitical reasons to fucking fuck motherfuckers up. U.S. tells American citizens to leave Iraq immediately. Get the fuck out of there.
Kind of came out into the open in that country. Last week, if you've been following this, you know, an American civilian contractor was killed by militants in Iraq. The U.S. government blamed that attack on Iran, and it retaliated with strikes. In response, protesters blockaded the U.S. embassy in Baghdad. That's basically where we were when the show started tonight.
Yeah, good and bad everywhere, regardless of of color. But the white man has inflicted more destruction than any other people. Yeah, everybody got good and bad, real bad people. Man, there's been some fucking badass dictators and tyrants throughout the countries of Africa and India. They still have this real fucking class system where there's a group of people called untouchables, where you can't touch them, and if like they're so beneath you, you don't touch these people. And when they come into your town, they can't wear fucking shoes. You walk barefoot. You can't ride a bike or any kind of motor vehicle through here. If you want to come through our town, you walk through here barefooted and don't touch nothing. And that shit is now, like now. So there's like good and bad everywhere. But who has the military might to wield their influence and power because they have a monopoly on violence? Being good and bad, that shit don't really matter. Of color, yeah. But who has the monopoly on violence? Because they say, we are standing nations and we have the armies and we have the nukes and you and you and you cannot have nuclear programs to enrich uranium because we say so. And we're going to destroy our nukes, but not right yet, not now, but you can't have any. And we're going to tell you, you need democracy. You guys need democracy. We're gonna invade. We got and it's like, cause yeah, but and like Trump even said, oh yeah, I don't want to go to war, but it wouldn't be good for him because it wouldn't last long. Yeah, there's bad people in America, there's bad people in the Middle East, but the war won't last long because who has the most military might? Who can inflict the most damage the fastest? And this is what the European has focused on for centuries. Since the very first gun. It has never ended. And the pursuit to obtain the ability to kill people fast and easy is something they still do. Like they want to make all their guns, like guns don't get, like there's a new gun comes out every fucking few months. Oh, we added this feature and this new feature and now this feature, then a new design, and they're always making better tanks and invisible tanks and hover tanks and tanks that can turn into aquatic vehicles and fucking this bomb and now this bomb and a smart bomb and now we can put the smart bomb on a smart drone. And it's like these are what you would consider to be intellectuals, engineers and designers and programmers, and they are creating death machines. The world will not end by some fucking Islamic suicide bomber. The world will end by some really fucking smart Harvard education degree having motherfucker who's gonna push a button and nuke this shit. He's probably gonna be a white guy. And it's fucked up that that's how the world is set up, but it is. Ever since World War II, there's like, fuck that. We gotta control everything now. And that's why America's military budget is double, triple, quadruple that of every other nation. We spend more on our military. Why? Because we have so many military bases and installations and airfields all over the fucking world. And it takes a lot of fucking money to maintain them shits. And to keep staff and food and communications and legit all that shit, yo, that takes an ass of fucking money. And that's an empire. How many other countries have permanent military installations and airfields on American soil? Now, how many countries do we have? Hey Siri. How many military bases does the U.S. have globally?
Okay, I found this on the web for how many military bases does the U.S. have globally. Check it out.
Yo, they got a map, but they don't have a number. That's crazy. They won't have a number for this shit. Despite recently closing hundreds of bases in Iraq and Afghanistan, the United States still maintains nearly 800 military bases in more than 70 countries and territories abroad, from the giant Little Americas to the small radar facilities, Britain, France, and Russia. And by contrast, they have about 30 foreign bases combined. By my calculation, maintaining these bases and troops overseas costs 85 to 100 billion in fiscal year 2014, and the total with base and troops in war zones is about $200 billion a year. This is an old report from 2015 though. Roughly 800 military bases, yo. That's a fucking empire. gas and diesel. I don't know when this is The Nation. This was January 24th, 2018. The U.S. has military bases in 80 countries. All of them must close. A lot of people don't have like exact numbers, yo. Somebody help me Google and try to find some shit on that. Like, how many military bases do we have globally?
Defense Secretary Mark Esper warned that the United States is prepared to launch additional preemptive military strikes against Iranian interests in the region, which apparently are what we are seeing right now. Now, again, there's been virtually no debate or even discussion about this, but America appears to be lumbering toward a new Middle East war. And we have to say it's one that official Washington has wanted for decades. For example, disgraced National Security Advisor John Bolton has made it his life's mission to start a war with Iran. And tonight, Bolton may be finally getting his wish. Should you be happy about that? That's the question. Well, the last time we took John Bolton's advice in the region, Iran became...
America's action, without any doubt, is an act of state terrorism and a violation of Iraq's sovereignty. The murder of people who dedicated their entire lives to fighting tyranny, oppression, terror, and extremism. He and Abu Mahdi al-Muhandis, his martyred comrade, had an outstanding role in the combat of Iraqi and Syrian people against the Islamic State. Perhaps America's action was a response to the pain that this great man had inflicted on them. Qasem destroyed what America had built and nurtured with the assistance of struggles of people of Syria, Iraq, and the region. This was a heavy blow for the U.S. The pure and holy blood of Qasem Soleimani will definitely make the tree of resistance more robust and make Iranian people more united. It will also make U.S. policies more scandalous and less effective than before every day.
Ooh, that was Iran's foreign minister, yo. Motherfuckers tired of this shit. Bruh, in 3 days, but we got 2 more days. I got paid today too. I might just go spend like $500 at the. You know what? I don't have a Sam's Club membership. I might just go get me a Sam's Club membership today. Go drop like $500 at Sam's real quick. Water and canned goods, nothing else. Tell me, I get $500 worth of water and canned goods, and sit the fuck back. And it's time, and that shit is gonna fucking happen. It's gonna happen. I honestly, bro, if you can watch my earlier streams, bro, I've been saying this shit is gonna happen within my lifetime. America will lose power America will step down from being the world superpower in my lifetime. Shit is going to fucking change. I will see this shit, bro. And this may not be it right here, but like you said, this shit is so fucked up that every scandal that America does after this is just going to be so obvious to the rest of the world how they try to fucking control everything. And they're tired of that shit, yo. Motherfuckers are tired of being occupied, having their resources stolen from them by European countries, yo. If every European country had to step out of the Middle East and step out of Africa, they would fucking starve. Going that far up north, there's not a lot of resources. In the soil, in the earth, there's not a lot of resources. The Middle East and Africa is where the resources are at. And that's why they continue to try to maintain dominance over that shit, yo. And now China's trying to step in, and everybody else wants to step in and control North Africa and the Middle East, yo. And these desert motherfuckers been going to war since the fucking Bible. They not gonna give up. You will have to nuke all these motherfuckers out of existence. And then how moral will you be? You know what I'm saying? It's so blatantly obvious that America is a fucking bully. And the world is just tired, yo. Everybody's tired of this shit, man. And them desert motherfuckers, they got the Asians behind them, yo. They not playing. These motherfuckers is not playing. But once again, if we pull out, we starve. Then we're gonna have to start doing more fucking fracking and offshore drilling around our own countries and fucking up our own ecosystems where we live at. We ain't want to do that shit. Huh? Shit, just go build a pipeline over there, man. Take their shit. Send that shit over there on the boat, man. Fuck that. Not fucking up my coastlines. That's why Saddam burnt his shit back in the day. Y'all ain't getting this. Or I'll burn this shit first, yo. I'll set this bitch on fire, man. Fuck y'all. Y'all ain't taking this shit, man. That's all they wanted. Don't worry. Be happy-ish. You know that. Expect the best, but prepare for the worst. That's the only way I look at life all the time, yo. You know, you hope for the best, yo. You expect that shit. Like, yo, the very, very best is going to happen. It is. I know it is. But if it doesn't, I have a backup. Just in case. Just as that small slight chance that shit is gonna hit the fan. And you know what happens when shit hit the fan? It comes back in your face. It comes back at you. And you might be talking like this and then it's in your mouth. And now you're covered in shit. Nobody don't want that. Nobody does not want this shit to hit the fan. Trust me. It has happened to me before. Very bad feeling. Terrible sensation. That's why you plan for the worst. The worst. The very, very, very worst. Just like, could I die from this? No. Well, what's really bad right next to death? I'm going to prepare for that shit. You know? But I will still always expect the best. We're hoping for the best here. You know? That's all we can do, yo. Just be happy-ish. You know? You always think the worst will happen. But, nigga, you hear after a car accident, you know, that was the best and the worst. Like, I survived that shit. At least I survived that shit. See? That's the best, nigga. Shoot. But I feel you, though. Hey, life ain't easy. Man, you got a beautiful family, beautiful wife, you know what I'm saying? You good, you back full of health. Man, the best. That's the best. But you were prepared for the worst, though. You know what I'm saying? You was prepared for that shit, but you still got the best part back. You know? Shit. Expect the best, nigga. But y'all motherfuckers who ride motorcycles, I don't know what you expect any goddamn way. I'ma sit on the engine. I'm gonna put just 2 wheels on this thing, right? I'm gonna sit on this engine. I'm gonna put a wheel right here and 1 wheel behind me. Then I'm gonna go 80 miles an hour. Motorcycle guys. That guys trip me out, yeah. What could go wrong? You know, I got a helmet on. Like, what the fuck? What's the worst that could happen? This is gonna be great. Nah, I've been stopped doing tattoos, yo. Ooh. Dude. You smart, bro. You smart. 125. How you know that? Who told you that? I know that's right, man. Respect. You gotta share the road, man. Share the road. Dude. Who told you that? How you know that? Dude. This motherfucker smart, yo. Why we don't like these countries? No central banks. What does that mean? They make their own money. They have their own economy. America has a central bank, the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve sounds like it's a part of the government, like the federal government. But it's not. The Federal Reserve is a privately owned bank that issues currency to America. Because America doesn't make money because they have a central bank. But countries like Iran, Russia, North Korea, they don't have central banks. They say we're going to fuck them up. We're going to fuck them up until they do what we tell them to do. You're going to play ball with us, motherfuckers. You're going to be in debt. Your whole country, all of your citizens, for generations, you're going to be in debt to the central banks. I'm going to wipe you off the fucking map. You want to get wiped off the map? That's what you want? Money masters. Money Masters talks about central banks and fractional reserve lending in fiat currency. Now you learn all this shit, and then you realize why these countries don't want it, and why the Europeans fucking them up because they're not taking it. You know what I'm saying? Own a bank and you can rob the nation. Rothschild said, I care not who makes the laws. Let me make the money. Let me issue the currency. Fuck that. You can make all the laws you want. Give me control of the money. That's all I need, bro. I don't need to be no politician, no president. I needs to be the banker, the money changer. Because that way I can rob everybody. Everybody gonna get it. Get down or lay down, bitch. Get down or lay down. Who are you? I'm a bank owner. And then once you own the process of making money, then money is irrelevant to you. I make that shit. I own the printing presses. That shit don't mean nothing to me, period. All of my money is imaginary. All money is imaginary. I'm a trillionaire. Do you think I have a vault somewhere with $1 trillion sitting in that shit? No. It's on a slip of paper. It's on a computer screen and a digital account that says that's how much I'm worth. But it's just imaginary, you know? Money's not really real. We use physical things to exchange for something we deem as valuable. But money can be anything. They use seashells or tally sticks or cow dung, bottle caps. Like anything can be money. We just use paper and coins now. Zeitgeist. I remember watching that shit back in the day. There is no way. There is no way to have more debt than assets without fraud. It doesn't work like that. Your money is created off of debt. It's made out of debt. They got you by the balls. It's fucked up system, bro, but nobody don't know money. Nobody don't even know that the banks are the dangerous people. This man coming, it's for dude. This dude smart as shit. I don't know what you've been reading or what you've been watching, but you on the right course, dude. You know what you talk about, bro. Motherfucker want to say, oh, the white man. Which white man? Come on now, we gotta be more specific than this shit, man. Come on, what white man you talking about? It's these bank owners. Because white supremacy bad for everybody. And that 1%, the 1% of the 1% is the white supremacy. You gotta have a family name, man. You ain't part of these blue bloods. Nobody in your family ain't been to a Bilderberg meeting. Then white supremacy not for you neither. That shit ain't for you either. You know? Don't believe the hype. Oh, don't believe the hype. Yeah. Cause they gonna nuke everybody, bro. And you ain't got no pass to no bunker. Bitch, what the fuck? What the fuck? You live in a good neighborhood. But bitch, you a half a mile from where I live at, bitch. They nuke us. They nuke you too, motherfucker. What you think? Huh? I don't care about you, bitch. Shit. That shit funny. Super funny. You got your pass to the bunker? No? You ain't got your pass to the goddamn International Space Station? Huh? You fucked up like me then, bitch. We all in the same boat. Realize that shit, man. It's these motherfucking bankers and these oligarchs, these fucking Oppenheimers and Rothschilds and Warburgs and motherfucking what's the other family name? The Citigroup and all these motherfuckers and the people like the Koch brothers. These the motherfuckers, man. These the motherfuckers that really push that button. Trump like, yeah, I did it. You got motherfucker whispering to you though. We know you ain't. This motherfucker ain't got goddamn 2 brain cells to rub together. You think you gonna make a complex decision, some shit like that, man? You know what I'm saying? They've been desensitizing us to this violence for generations now. So when this shit do really pop off, people are gonna be like, oh, well, we know what's gonna happen. And but America gonna change, yo. This shit changing. And that's what they really scared of, yo, is the change. Because if it happens on a global scale and we lose power globally, The white man is gonna fear losing power individually within his nation, and that shit ain't good. Fear is bad, yo. Fear is like one of the lowest emotions. So motherfuckers get scared, but they liable to do any goddamn thing. A scared motherfucker gonna do anything. You know? They about to impeach Trump. Now he done hit the button on their ass. So he can get reelected. Everybody whispering to him, this the way to go, Trump. You want to stay president, right? This the thing to do, man. Oh well. It's a play, man. This is a whole act. It's a whole fucking show. We just gotta see how they gonna play this shit out. You know what I'm saying? Because they already got the solution. They already know what they want the outcome to be. It's problem, reaction, solution. So they have a designated end game. They have an agenda that they're trying to accomplish. Now, how do they accomplish that? To get to that end point, they have to set certain things in motion. So this is the problem. So they create a problem. When they already have their end point, they already have the solution. Right? So they need to create a problem. An act of war, act of terrorism, something really, really, really dramatic to get lots of people's attention, right? And to make people scared and fearful. And in order to ease that sensation of fear, they have, well, that's the reaction, is the sensation of fear. So you create the problem, then the people react, and then you have your solution already prepared for them. Like, hey, we got the best thing right here, yo, democracy. You know, regime change. You know, implementation of a central bank. You know, building a wall. We can. That's, you know, anything to get what you want, man. All you gotta do is just make the problem, have the people react to the problem, and then give them your ordained solution. It's a perfect plan. The shit works 99% of the time, and nobody is ever the wiser. But people are starting to wake up to this shit, man. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, man. All y'all email accounts, all that shit hacked, man. Your phone lines, all that shit, your cell phones and shit, man. Cause y'all listen to me talk about all this shit, bro. Bro, I'm just letting y'all know, man. Y'all guilty by association. So y'all can sit in this stream all you want and not ever make a comment. But you listening to me talk about all this real shit, and they got you thinking, and they don't like when people think. So they gonna watch you and see how you start acting. You gotta get monitored now. Just get used to it. You'll be alright. It's not as scary as you think it is. It really isn't. Yo, fear is way stronger than love, yo. But hey, man. We are on a up curve in one instance, because we do have this marvelous way of communicating and spreading information now. That's something else. They fucked up with the internet, yo. They really did. And for the most part, the internet has corrupted. It's utterly corrupted, yo. And it really corrupts the minds of younger individuals for the most part, because they're so susceptible to the visual stimulation, especially from a young age. But for individuals who can use the internet as a tool, it is awesome. we can share information almost immediately. Yo, that dude who was in the stream yesterday too, yo, he was telling us about the fucking bombing and the killing of Soleimani. Like, swear to God, yo, it felt like at least 15, 20 minutes before I could find anything on the internet about that shit, yo. And I'm searching, and nothing wasn't coming up, yo. And then I hit the search again, and then some shit started popping up. Oh, 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, 3 minutes ago. I'm like, how the fuck this motherfucker was talking about this shit like 40 minutes ago, and that shit ain't been on the news until like 15 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago. And he's like, oh, I got sources. That shit was kind of weird. I keep thinking about that shit, because that motherfucker brought that. He jumped in the stream with that shit. Like, yo, we just killed some motherfuckers in Iran. Like, what are you talking about? It was World War III. Like, get the fuck out of here. I couldn't find that shit for a minute, yo. He might have been the government insider, yo, you know, leaking that shit out. I'm telling you, man, they watching, they listening, bro. These motherfuckers is listening to all of your phone calls, your conversations with your relations. They listening. They listening to all your phone calls, your conversations, relations. They listening to everything you do. They watch your every move, and where you buy your food. They listening. They tracking emails, the shit you buy from retail, and all your weed sales. They listening to all your phone calls, your conversations with your relations. They listening to all your phone calls, your conversations with your relations. They listening, and then they watch you on your computer screen. They see everything you see. They listening. Big brother on you, you just a pawn too. But how you gon' move? They listening. Edward Snowden told you that you Snowden, and now you're frozen, 'cause they track your modem. They listening to all your phone calls, your conversations with your relations. They listening to all your phone calls, your conversations with your relations. They listening. Hey, they listening to y'all. Yeah, me neither. I need to go back in the stream, yo, get that motherfucking name, yo. Yeah, I ain't never seen that dude. It was a name, but he just typed it in there twice. Sticky Steezy, or some shit like that. But it was whatever it was. It just was this repeated itself. Yeah, never saw that dude. Like I say, that's the first shit he popped up in there with. Was like, yo, it's World War III. Yo, they just killed the fucking dude from Israel. I mean, for Iran. I'm like, huh? What are you talking about, man? Yo, these lines are slow going. They listening to all your phone calls. I think that one's a hit, guys. What do you say? Could you hear that on the radio? They ain't gonna play that shit on the radio, man. They ain't gonna play no shit like that. Like Edward Snowden told us that we snowden, and now you're frozen, 'cause they track your modem. They listening. They watch your emails, everything you buy from retail, and all your weed sales. They listening. Now what you gon' do? Because they own you, even on your home too. They listening. Big brother watching. Steady on my jockin'. Know when I clockin' at my fucking job, and they listening. What y'all think, man? That shit hot, boy. That shit hot, son. Cause I'm painting pictures and I sang a song too. They listening. Hey man, this is freestyles and paint, man. It's art and education. What the fuck you thinking? You ain't my relations. Brother from a different mother. We call them cousins. Even though we playing, man, we shoot them dozens. Them bitches buzzing. They know we wasn't with that bullshit, nigga. If you try to trip. Cause they listening. Yo, that shit stuck in my head. I'm gonna be singing that hook all day. That shit hot. I just need somebody who got some real vocals who can sing that shit. That's how, like, when you listen to my old songs, my homie who be singing on my shit. Yo, I wrote all those, everything you hear my homie singing, I wrote all that shit. I just can't sing that shit, yo. Like, yo, nigga, I got this shit. Yo, check this out, listen. They listening to all your phone calls, your conversations with your relations. They listening, and then he'll take that shit and sing that shit back. Boy, you be like, oh, nigga, that's how that shit supposed to sound, boy. You got that shit, boy. All you gotta do is let him hear that shit, man. That motherfucker sang that shit back. And I remember one hook, the song I did for my grandma, I had it written. And I had it sounding a certain way when I sang it to him, and he sang it back a little bit different. And I was like, he's like, how you like that? I was like, yo, that shit sound hella better, bro. Like, yeah. And how it was on the beat, yo, the way he sang it, it was still the exact same words, but he hit like different notes at a different time, yo. I was like, yo, that shit sound good as fuck, yo. I miss doing that shit, like coming up with some singing shit and just having somebody who can really sing that shit for me. I would have let him have that whole song. Like, yo, man, you gotta sing this whole song right here, yo. It's called They Listening, yo. You know what I'm saying? Just some little 1 minute. Just do that shit a couple times, like a little 1 minute song. I'll throw that shit on my album. They listening. Like to play that shit in between some shit, almost like a little skit, yo. I gotta work on my mixtape, man, before I'm 40. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna drop my mixtape when I'm 40. I just gotta start recording that shit now. I'm gonna call that shit 40 Glory or some shit. I don't know. That was corny as hell, but you know, I'm getting the point. You know what I'm saying? Trying to be creative with last mixtape ever by your boy Trap House ENT. Come back with some old intellectual shit. There's so much I haven't written in so long, yo. And there's so many fucking songs I can write about, yo. So much shit to write about. I haven't written shit in fucking 10 years. Why can't I paint a straight line? I got 10 years of shit to talk about. Especially like how shit crazy now. Damn, and Trump the president. Damn. So what you gonna do? Cause they own you, even own your home too. They listening to all your phone calls. I like that part, yeah. Oh. I want to hear some more about this Iran shit, man. That shit get me kind of depressed early in the morning, man. You know what I'm saying? Ain't wrong with be depressed early in the morning. Got to keep up on that news, though. That shit is vital. Let me take a break, guys. I gotta take a piss real quick. I'll be right back. Whew, that was much needed. Them lines, man, them lines taking forever, dog. Like, come on, hey, this is once again, yo, Wigs, this is why I need an apprentice for parts like this. The shit that I don't want to do on the painting. It's just like tedious and grueling. I'm like, yo, apprentice, yes, Mr. Prince. You ready for your lesson today? Yes, sir. What are we doing? Outline this drawing right here. And then what else? Nothing else, man. Just outline the fucking drawing for me. Alright? I'm gonna go downstairs, play the PlayStation. When you're done, come get me. I'm done, Mr. Prince. You got all the lines. Good. You did a good job. Alright. I'll call you when I need you again. Damn. So AC Moore is going out of business. I spent thousands of dollars at AC Moore's over the years, man. They prices so cheap, man. Like, AC Moore's got some of the best prices. They don't got the best selection. Now, Dick Blick, that's a funny name. Dick Blick has the best selection. I would say Hobby Lobby and Michaels are kind of comparable to each other. Hobby Lobby has a lot of more different things, and I think that's why they're a little bit more pricey. So I think it's AC Moore's was the cheapest, and then Michaels, and then Hobby Lobby, and then Dick Blick, in that order of price range and as far as like the variety of different products that you can get from those companies. But like I say, like AC Moore wasn't a bad craft place, yo. It was pretty good, and they had really good fucking prices. Like most of their shit was cheap as fuck, for real. And they're going out of business. So for the past couple weeks, I've been up there twice. So the first week they announced that they were putting their shit on sale for their going out of business deal or whatever. I went up there and I spent like 60 something bucks, and I got like $130 worth of shit for like $67 or something. And so, oh yeah, that shit is crazy. But Syria, that's not. Syria is what's the dude name from Syria, yo? Assad. Yeah, Bashar al-Assad is from Syria. We talking about that shit that happened. Now let's they fuck with. Well, Syria's backing the motherfuckers too, but lately we've been talking about Qasem Soleimani from Iran, which is, but Syria with the motherfuckers though. They like got their own little coalition and shit, yo. But at AC Moore's, so I went back up there again to try to get some more shit on sale. I got a fucking canvas. These shits were like, I think it was like 40% off. 22 by 28 inch canvas is normally about like $45 or something like that. So I got this for like almost half that. Or probably even cheaper, I think. That might have been more, like, had a better sale. And then got me a 3-piece large brush set. They don't have to be the best or the fanciest. I just needed some larger brushes, especially for the part that I'm going to do next on this canvas. I actually want to open these now and feel them and see how these brushes feel. Those, you see, hairs coming out. And that's what you get from cheap brushes. But I think these were like, originally, these 3 brushes were like, I don't know, like $20-something. And I got them for like $9 or something. So 3 big brushes. And these bristles aren't bad. They feel pretty good. And like I said, especially what I'm going to use them for, so. Add those to the brush collection. And then I got this. Another one of these little mason jars. Because sometimes I hate mixing them. Like if I had 2 different strands, I just still put like both of them in the same jar. But I'm like, fuck that. I'll just get another little jar. And then what else we have in here? Alright. I got some cadmium orange hue. And I got some Vidarian hue, which is a pale green color. So I picked those 2 up, and I might try to go up there maybe one more time next week. I really don't need shit. I could probably stock up on more canvases, but I really don't need canvases. And You know, only paid $27 for all that shit. Like, that canvas would have been more than $27 by itself. The best size easel. The best easel is the French carry easel, or the travel easel. Apprentice, come finish this outline for me. Yo, these little Jones right here are the fucking best, bro. And you can get one for like, if you can find one on sale, you can get them as cheap as fucking $60, $70. Sometimes you might find them for like right at $90, $100 or something like this. I think I got this one for like $75 or something. But it's just a travel easel. You can fit pretty nice sized canvases on here. And the thing is, it's all collapsible. And that's why people love these Jones. And then you can take this motherfucker with you wherever. And this can fit in any kind of car, any kind of small car, or if you got a big enough carrying bag, you can just, I don't know, throw it over your back on a bicycle and travel somewhere like in the woods and pull it out and paint from nature or something or whatever. But this is like the standard go-to for beginners because it's not very big, it doesn't take up a lot of space, especially when you collapse it down like this, and you can take it with you. And it actually has, well, this is a suitcase itself because these hooks right here are for a strap. And I've been took my strap off of it. I think I still have it. But there's a fucking, you can actually just clip your fucking shoulder strap onto it and strap this bitch across your shoulder and go wherever you want with this thing, yo. Yeah, so grab her one of these little things. Like I say, they're not expensive. You can adjust the height on it. You can adjust it to be short or extend this all the way out, make it taller. Like, I basically use this as a table. So I don't have it as high as it can stand, but it can stand pretty tall. And then, I mean, you see how easy it is to open. Even a kid can do this. Like, it's not a complicated thing at all. You just unscrew the thing. Damn, the thing want to spin. And then that's it. Then wherever you at, open it up. You got a drawer. You got all your brushes, your paints in here. Whatever you need for your painting session. Stain shit up. Paint, whatever. Close that shit back down. I would always, for a new painter, I would get her one of those. It's the travel. It's called a French travel easel. You can probably find one of them shits on Amazon for this. Matter of fact, let me look right now. $79. Here's one, it's the same design and everything, it's just a little bit smaller for $59. Get her some 12 by 14s. This is 11 by 14. 11? Why this shit ain't 12 by 14? That's an odd shape. But anyway, a 12 by 14 is about this size. This is 11 by 14. But yeah, some small little canvases like this. Get it started. That should fit real nice on that easel. This is 16 by 20. Yo, I'm not really understanding this text message from my boss, right? So because I hate to really question her on what she means, because I could be mistaken And then if I am mistaken, I'll just be like, oh, I thought you meant this. But listen now. So hey, help me understand this real quick, bro. Listen. So Monday coming, right? Monday coming. I'm not going to work. I told my boss this before Christmas because I'm going to judge the art show. And I normally work like 8:30 to 4:30 or 8 to 4 or something like that. But the art show is from 9 until 3. That's basically all day. I'm not going to go to work for an hour and then leave and then come back. Like, so I just told her like, yo, and I showed her the email and everything. It's like, yo, I get to do this art thing, you know, on the 6th. She's like, okay, I'm happy you told me, blah, blah, blah. So yesterday, I put in my leave of absence notice or my time off sheet. You gotta like print out a form and say, hey, and like officially like, hey, I want this day off, you know, this date. And I'm gonna use, if you're gonna use paid time off or use personal time or, and so I did that, right? I filled out the form saying I wanted that day off and I was gonna use my personal, my paid time off. And so she said hey, good morning, Travis. Got your leave request and it's just fine to take that day on Monday. And I got your leave request and it's just fine to take that day on Monday. I wanted to mention that you could also save those hours in case there's a bad weather day later in the month. That way you wouldn't need to borrow 2020 paid time off. It's completely up to you, of course. What up? So I can just take that day off and save my paid time off? Like, how is that even working? I don't know. How can I take the day off and still save my paid time? Unless I use a personal day. But she didn't say use a personal day. So you want me to say that I was at work and then just don't come to work? That's all they do, man. They purchase, yeah. I sell hours of my day to somebody, you know? And then it all depends on how much. When you say, oh, I make $16 an hour, that sounds pretty good. But when you say, I just sold an hour of my life for $16, that doesn't sound so good. You know, an hour of my life is only worth $16. That's kind of fucked up. Sticky Steez with no content and no subscribers. But this motherfucker knows some shit too fast, bro. He do that shit instantly, like soon as that shit happen. And why the fuck you come in my stream with that shit? What the fuck? Never seen you before ever. Never chatted with you. You're not on my friends list and none of that shit. And you pop up in my stream saying, "Yo, we about to World War III." That shit was questionable to say the least. You know, that shit was questionable to say the least. That shit was questionable. And then I was on that shit last night. I couldn't even go to bed last night. I'm still looking up shit, man. Posting shit on social media like, yo, everybody see this shit? Now everybody fucking replying, making comments on all that shit, yo. Motherfuckers like, oh shit. We about to go to war. Yeah, bitch. No, that's not questionable. That what Syria calls America fucking terrorists? Motherfucking sleeper cells. Fuck it. Ain't nothing else to listen to right now.
At NJM Insurance, we know that everyone's a little different. That's why we make sure you've got the right coverage.
This is CNN Breaking News.
Overnight, we learned that President Trump ordered the drone strike that killed Iranian General Qasem Soleimani, sort of the chair of the Joint Chiefs of Staff in Iran, combined with the head of the CIA, combined with a shadow foreign minister. One of them.
A drone ain't a living person. But he gonna get that shit, ain't it? All that Middle Eastern oil, they want all that shit. Yeah. And the drone and the person ain't the same thing. Exactly. I kind of like Assad. You know? I like anybody who says fuck you, America. I ain't gonna lie. And I live in this country, but it's just too big for our britches, yo. You know, these other countries been around for thousands of years, man. Motherfucking, like I say, Baghdad and all that shit, man. That's Babylon. That's in the Bible, man. You know how old that shit is, man? You still trying to fuck. You be like, now you got this new ass little fledgling ass nation just because they got shiny weapons and shit. They think they the fucking shit, yo. And they want to wipe everybody else the fuck out. Like, fuck that. Stop being a bully, yo. I'm an American. I'll call Americans out on American bullshit. I kind of think like if I was white, I would call white people out on white people bullshit. That's how honest I just want to be about shit. Cause I call black people out on black people bullshit all the time. I don't give a fuck who bullshit it is. Call the fucking bullshit. And America's a fucking bully. We're an empire. We dominate the world's resources because we're like 12% of the world's population and we use like fucking 30% of the world's resources or some dumbass shit like that. We use way more than triple the resources we need just because America's fat. We're fat and lazy and uneducated and we like our big SUVs that burn diesel. I don't know what to say. I mean, it's just so obvious. Like, we need to be taken down a notch. Just, I don't want America to go all the way to the bottom and be like some third world nation. I like running water. I like lights in my house and heat in my house. I like being able to eat food whenever I want to eat food. Just because I feel like eating it. Not because I'm really hungry. Just because I want to. I like shit like this. But on the global scale, do we gotta be in everybody's country telling everybody what to do all the damn time? I don't think so. You know how much better it would be in America if we cut our military spending and spent that shit on Americans? We got roughly 800 permanent military installations around the globe. What if we shut down like 500 of them and kept, just 300 military bases? You know how much money we can save? How much better our roads would be and our bridges? How robust our educational system could be? Imagine if we only had like 50 permanent military installations globally. You know how big we can grow our manufacturing sector and bring corporations back that want to produce goods and textiles with the tag Made in America on it? You know how good that would be for Americans? I might use this as my campaign speech. Prince, 2024. American BS is our BS. Australia has the same, damn near the same history as America, yo. The colonization was brutal. Brutal. Boy, them Europeans went down to Australia, fucked them Aboriginals up, son. Fucked them all the way up. Tried to exterminate them bitches, yo. When every last one of them dead. They're just wild animals is what they thought. Australia got a fucking brutal, bloody, deadly history of colonization for the European to be there, yo. Literally wiped a complete population of people off the earth. The Tasmanian, the native inhabitants of Tasmania do not exist anywhere. Their genetic code is not survived by anybody because them Europeans killed all them motherfuckers, yo. That's real genocide. And now you got New Queensland and all these different places in Australia named after European countries, and the white man down there chilling in that good ass weather, that good warm climate, man, just loving that shit, yo. In 10 years, yo, Sticky, boy, we was talking about your ass, boy. Once enough countries take themselves off the petrodollar, number one, and in 5 years. I know the EU been having electric cars a lot longer. I was looking at when Tesla put out that Cybertruck. I started doing some more look into electric cars and shit, and somebody told me about, I forgot the one name of this electric car that been out in Europe for a long time, yo. But that's the way to go. But we're almost at the end of the oil age. This is true, just like any other age. The Bronze Age, the Steel Age, then we got to the first industrial revolution with steam engines and steam locomotives and things like that. And then we created the internal combustion engine. And now we have these lithium ion batteries. And you know, the gas industry is going to be dead, you know. The oil, we're at the end of the oil age. It's slowly coming to an end. Yeah. But then on top of that, like, there's a lot of petro and products we make, rubbers and plastics and different things like that. But as far as like burning fuel for transportation, yeah, that alternating current. Tesla ain't had no money though. Edison had ideas in the money. Tesla had ideas but no money. If he could have had a little bit more money to get his ideas out there, the world would have been different, yo. 100 years ago, the world would have been different. No, that's what I was gonna say, yo. When all these other countries get themselves off the petrodollar, and then China start calling in their debts and shit, we're gonna be fucked, bro. Like all the way fucked economically. China kind of owns us, yo. That's it. Yeah, J.P. Morgan. And Henry Ford was a part of that shit too, yo. Henry Ford had some hand in helping Edison and Morgan build that whole electrical shit up. Yeah, that whole history was crazy, yo. And that's why they don't teach fucking Nikola Tesla in schools. You don't really get taught him in science class when you're learning about electricity and the first light bulb and all that bullshit. Well, not bullshit, but they don't even tell you that the black man was the dude who invented the filament for the light bulb. Like, without the filament, you couldn't even have a fucking light bulb, let alone light your fucking house. But that's a story for another day. Talk about this blueprint for black power. Because, god damn it, if we don't take it, they ain't gonna get it. I'm just saying.
Powerful men in the region has now been killed. Now to talk about the decision to carry out this action, the U.S. Secretary of State. Hey, Mr. Secretary, good morning. Thank you very much for being with us.
Morning, John. Thank you for having me on the show this morning.
You put out a statement a short time ago that says the decision to eliminate General Soleimani was in response to imminent threats to American lives. What was the nature of those imminent threats?
John, I can't talk too much about the nature of the threats, but the American people should know that President Trump's decision to remove Qasem Soleimani from the battlefield saved American lives. There's no doubt about that. He was actively plotting in the region to take actions, a big action as he described it, that would have put dozens, if not hundreds of American lives at risk. We know it was imminent. This was an intelligence-based assessment that drove our decision-making process. The American people also know the history of Qasem Soleimani, hundreds of American lives on his hands too. He was involved in the Beirut bombings. He'd orchestrated an attack right here in Washington, D.C. and ultimately failed. This is a man who's put American lives at risk for an awfully long time. And last night was the time that we needed to strike to make sure that this imminent attack that he was working actively was disrupted.
A specific target overseas?
I'm not going to say anything more about the nature of the attack, but know that this was not just in Iraq, it was throughout the region. It was using these proxy forces that he has manipulated for so long to bring so much destruction to the Shias and Sunnis, the Muslims throughout the region. This is a man who inflicted enormous harm not only on American lives, but created terribly destructive activities supporting Lebanese Hezbollah, Hamas, the Palestinian Islamic Jihad, all of the bad actors in the Middle East. Qasem Soleimani was at the center of all of it.
Was there any imminent threat to the U.S. homeland?
These were threats that were located in the region.
And when I ask about the timing, the reason I am asking is because General Soleimani, as you well note, has been an enormous threat to the United States and U.S. interests for decades. I was in Iraq between 2003 and 2008 when he was responsible for the death of probably 600 or more U.S. servicemen. So what is different, or what was different yesterday than over the last 15 years?
Well, John, you're right about the history of General Soleimani for sure. What's different today is that Iran has now been engaged for months, and we're managed dozens and dozens of attacks throughout the region. President Trump's shown enormous restraint to date. While we've made clear to the Iranians that we weren't going to tolerate the killing of Americans, on December 27th, an American was killed in Iraq. And then we watched the intelligence flow in that talked about Soleimani's travels in the region and the work that he was doing to put Americans further at risk. And it was the time to take this action so that we could disrupt this plot, deter further aggression from Qasem Soleimani and the Iranian regime, as well as to attempt to de-escalate the situation. The risk of doing nothing was enormous. The intelligence community made that assessment, and President Trump acted decisively last night.
Was this attack in the coming days, do you expect?
We're prepared. We've thought about this a great deal. But remember, they've been attacking for months.
Right, but I was saying, was the imminent attack? Was the imminent attack?
Somehow I hear folks So, I'm sorry, was the imminent attack? I don't want to talk about the details of the plotting that was taking place. I'm sorry, John, I didn't understand.
Okay, no problem. Listen, the President of the United States moments ago retweeted the State Department directive for all U.S. citizens in Iraq to get out. Why? What is the nature of the threat against U.S. citizens in Iraq this morning?
I don't want to elaborate on the statement that we put out just a handful of hours ago, but make no mistake about it. The Trump administration is focused on protecting Americans to the maximum extent feasible. We made the conclusion that a statement that we issued was appropriate, that the timing was right for that. We have, as you've seen over the past weeks, we've taken actions by building out coalitions in the region, by working to make sure we strengthen our partners in Saudi Arabia and the Emiratis, all things aimed at deterring Iran from aggression. We will continue that action, and we'll continue to prepare to respond if that's what's required to keep Americans safe.
Will you call for the removal or evacuation of U.S. State Department personnel from Iraq?
Well, we constantly evaluate our personnel, not only in Iraq, but all across the region and across the world. Every day we're evaluating what the right security posture is. We will ensure that we get it right. We'll rely on the people on the ground to help give us guidance about what they're seeing and hearing. We will make appropriate decisions about the posture of our diplomats and our military personnel throughout the region.
What do you anticipate the possible range of responses from Iran will be?
John, we've anticipated a wide range of possible responses, and we have done our level best under the direct guidance of the president to prepare for all of those possibilities. We hope the actual response, John, is that the Iraqi people will do what they've been doing for months. They'll demand that the Iraqi government give them freedom, prosperity, and sovereignty. We've watched these protests over the last weeks. They weren't burning American flags. They were demanding that Iraqi political leadership stop their kleptocracy, stop their political shenanigans. And Qasem Soleimani was at the center of that. He was driving bad outcomes for the Iraqi people. He was causing many Muslims in the region to be killed. I saw last night there was dancing in the streets in parts of Iraq. We have every expectation that people not only in Iraq but in Iran will view the American action last night as giving them freedom to have the opportunity for success and prosperity for their nations. And while the political leadership may not want that, the people in these nations will demand it.
We'll see. So far this morning on the streets of Tehran, we've been seeing pictures, and we have a reporter there. We've been seeing pictures of large-scale anti-American demonstrations following the death. This is in Iran, following the death. We've heard from Iraqi leaders so far condemning the U.S. action. We heard from a French official this morning putting out a statement saying that the world is less safe following the killing of General Soleimani. And the concern there, no one is saying that General Soleimani was a good actor, he was a bad actor. What they're suggesting is that destabilization will create a threatening environment. So when you hear from France, the world is a less safe place this morning, how do you respond to that?
Yeah, well, the French are just wrong about that. The world's a much safer place today. And I can assure you that Americans in the region are much safer today after the demise of Qasem Soleimani. And, you know, as for the protest that you described, there's no doubt the last vestiges of theocracy, the kleptocracy in Iran will continue to try and put down these uprisings from the people. They've jailed thousands, they've killed hundreds. It won't surprise me if they try to continue to do that. But know this, the Iranian people understand that America is a force for good in the region. And I'm convinced that the support that we have provided to the people in Iran and the support we will continue to provide for the people in Iraq will work to protect American interests and make lives better for those people as well.
I'm very interested in what the future role for the United States in Iraq will be, particularly after this. Iraq's Prime Minister Abdel Abdul-Mahdi condemned this attack. He said it's a flagrant violation of the conditions for the presence of American forces in Iraq and the role which is supposed to be limited to training Iraqi forces in fighting ISIS. So do you see this as a threat to the U.S. presence in Iraq, which has been crucial over the last several years in the battle against ISIS?
John, I've spoken to acting Prime Minister Abdel Mahdi several times over the last couple of days. The president spoke to him. I spoke with the head of the Chamber of Representatives, Mr. Halbousi. I spoke last night with the Iraqi foreign minister. I've seen their public statements. I know privately what it is they also see. And I know that what the Iraqi people will ultimately demand is that the Iranians get out, that the Iranians stop fomenting trouble, stop with these militias that are undermining their government. America is there to help protect Iraqi people. I've had friends, I'm sure you have too, John, that have been killed defending Iraqi sovereignty. We're there to continue our counter-terror campaign. And in the process of doing that, we will make sure that as we engage in that, as we try and stand up Iraqi sovereignty and give them the space to do that for themselves, we'll protect American interests there.
Mr. Director, I do have to let you go, but will the administration be releasing details of the intelligence which did lead to the raid, the imminent threat, over the next few days?
John, we'll do our best to release everything that we know that's appropriate, that we can, that doesn't put anyone at risk. We'll do our best. We want the world to understand that there was, in fact, an imminent attack taking place. The American people should know that this was an intelligence-based assessment that drove this.
Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, we do appreciate you being with us this morning. Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, John.
All right, a reaction to what the Secretary said. With the former NATO Supreme Allied Commander coming up, it was interesting to hear. I mean, he leaned into the notion that there was a specific threat, a specific attack that was foiled.
And that dozens or hundreds of American lives were saved and made news by saying this was a threat in the region, not on the U.S. homeland.
We're going to have to see the intelligence on that.
Yeah.
Stand by. Much more.
Pennsylvania. Home sweet home, Abraham.
It's even sweeter now that we can legally...
Tehran, the explosive warning shots fired by Iranian President Hassan Rouhani and his US counterpart Donald Trump dominates the front pages and have sparked mixed reactions from residents.
For several years, both America and Iran have threatened one another in different ways. Warmongering is a trait of Trump. I think we should not give him an excuse and let him take advantage of it as much as possible so that people will not have to enter a war or anything like that.
Iranians are used to strained relations between their government and Washington. But for some, dialogue with the US to maintain peace is still the way forward.
In my opinion, officials should sit down at the negotiating table with them and hear what they have to say. It is also a great strategy to buy time and let Trump finish his presidential term. The negotiation table is the best option.
Others are more critical of the Iranian government's handling of escalating tensions with the US.
America is threatening the Iranian people with its sanctions, and our government is doing the same with its incompetence and mismanagement. I don't expect America to do anything for our benefit.
Iranians will now have to wait and see if Rouhani's verbal hostilities with the US will have any further repercussions.
That was an old clip from last year. I'm trying to see what Iranians really think about America.
We can legally bet in Pennsylvania now? Revolutionary.
DraftKings is giving...
Australians are increasingly raising an issue that many government ministers have been pushing under the rug in recent weeks, and that's the role that climate change has played in sparking and keeping these blazes alight. Thomas Waterhouse has this report.
Like many other pockets of Australia, the thick smoke is still billowing from this stretch of woodland in Victoria. With the bushfires burning bright, the debate about how much climate change has fueled the ferocious flames is also raging. Scott Morrison says global warming is just one of many factors at play, with the much criticised Prime Minister started by carelessness or by arson. Have long warned that increasingly hotter and drier conditions will spark more fires and more frequently.
That all it takes is a bit of wind, some strong drought conditions, and a bushfire will take hold. Ultimately, this situation is a result of the rise in greenhouse gas emissions, which worsen global warming.
That's a view shared by the party that the Deputy Prime Minister famously ridiculed as being a group of raving inner-city lefties. The Green Party has long linked the bushfires to the government's steadfast support for the country's coal industry, with its huge polluting effects. 2 years ago, Scott Morrison even famously held up a lump of the black stuff in Parliament to show his commitment to coal. He said his government is taking action to tackle the effects of global warming, but that this action will be taken without ruining the economy and without cutting jobs.
That's it from me. Thank you very much for watching.
I remember as a young journalist reporting on the closure of a factory, and I was told the factory's closed, that's the end of the story. But I spoke to people. I spoke to the security guards. I spoke to the workers. I spoke to the trades unions. I spoke to the people in the community. And I learned there was a different story. The story I was being told was the one I was supposed to publish. The story I found was a huge cover-up and a huge intrigue. And eventually, by exposing that, I actually managed to save those people's jobs. So I'm proud of that. And I'd urge every journalist to go further, go deeper, ask more questions, and don't just take the first thing that people tell you for the truth, because very often the truth is way beyond that. Find that truth.
Liberté, égalité, actualité.
زوجتي وولادي طلعنا من سوريا.
Why is it skipping like that?
للاجئين ليبت بأمر ترحيلكم. انتم 6 عائلات تجربة بدهم يبعثوكم على سوريا.
The dark is overtaking the light in our world. The veil between the living.
David, let me start with you. And this tweet from Iran's foreign minister, Javad Zarif, he just tweeted this. Let's put it up. The U.S.'s act of international terrorism, targeting and assassinating General Soleimani, the most effective force fighting Daesh, ISIS, al-Nusra, and al-Qaeda, is extremely dangerous and a foolish escalation. The U.S. bears responsibility for all consequences of its rogue adventurism. David, what's your reaction?
Well, not a particular surprise. The last time that Minister Zarif was in New York a few months ago, he actually talked with us at some length about his relationship with General Soleimani and maintained that the foreign policy he was developing for Iran worked hand in glove with Soleimani's acts. And that's what worries American officials, because there's no question that General Soleimani was responsible for the deaths of hundreds, if not thousands, of Americans, was the man who propped up Bashar Assad, and who was trying to foment a lot of the uprisings in Iraq. And there are going to be many in Iraq who are going to probably celebrate his death. But for the administration, this was a pretty risky escalation. And I think the big question is, since the United States certainly had plenty of opportunities to kill him in the past, why did they choose to do this now, if in fact they chose to do it? That in other words, if they knew that he was going to be in that motorcade that was out near the Baghdad airport. And we don't know for sure whether or not they knew that Soleimani would be in that.
The statement from the Pentagon tonight, General Hertling, says that General Soleimani was actively developing plans to attack American diplomats and service members in Iraq and throughout the region. Does the Pentagon, does the president have a responsibility now to kind of flesh that out some, to offer more details potentially?
Well, not really, Victor. If we're talking about intelligence information that's going to provide the requirement for a preemptive strike, the Pentagon, the Department of Defense have been watching the actions of the Iranian Quds Force over the last year plus, but specifically over the last couple of months, because there have been indicators that they were conducting the various attacks throughout Iraq against American forces and the Iraqi security forces. So if there was an indicator that there were going to be some type of attack, again, a massive attack after the Baghdad riots that occurred against our embassy the other day, a preemptory strike is appropriate. Now, having said that, Soleimani is a ruthless killer. He's a horrible human being, and at the same time, he is a very charismatic soldier to his forces. This is a guy that when I was in Iraq, my last tour there in 2007 and 8, because of the kinds of things that were going on against the Iranian-Iraqi border, I had a chance to look at his biographical profile that one of my intelligence guys presented to me. He's a fascinating character. He commanded a division in the Iran-Iraq war in the late 80s. He's been in combat his entire life. His soldiers love him. He's a quiet, charismatic guy, a strategic genius, and a tactical operator. So these are all the kinds of things, looking at him from the enemy perspective, it's going to create a great deal of angst in this part of the world. David was absolutely right. There are going to be some in Baghdad that are very happy, even Shia, that are going to be very happy that Soleimani is dead, but there's going to be just as many, perhaps even more, that are going to be very upset about it. It's 7 a.m. in Baghdad right now. In a few hours, most of the people in the city are going to be going to the mosque, and they're going to be hearing one way or another from their imams about what to do next. We'll see on the streets today the kind of anger that's going to be generated by many of the pro-Iranian Shia that are inside of the capital city of Baghdad.
And Phil, that's an important point. What we heard from this statement, again, that's all we have from the Pentagon. The only thing we have from the White House is a tweet of an American flag from the president. That the Pentagon says this attack was to prevent or deter future attacks. So we'll see what Iran's response is. But what do you think that the U.S. should prepare for as a form of retaliation by Iran?
Well, I think if you're thinking about whether this would deter an attack by Iran, I think the prospect of that is zero. Look, we have a simmering, or we had until a few hours ago, a simmering conflict with Iran that included things like attacks in Iraq, but also remember Iran was picking up ships in the Persian Gulf going back a few months. We've decided to take a simmering relationship into a boiling relationship. The Iranians, and I followed them when I was at the CIA. One of my responsibilities was looking at the Iranian special services,
shit would be getting
their intelligence and Quds Force, this sort of external military force they have. They are very aggressive and they are fearless. One thing I want to tell you, Victor, is this is not just a general. This is somebody who's been with the Iranians since the revolution 41 years ago. This guy has been with the people who were the sponsors of the revolution in Iran. He is somebody who's a brother to the leadership of Iran. So they're looking at this not just as the elimination of a general, but as an opportunity to respond to an America that just decided they wanted to go from a simmer to a boil. My point is, whether you're at a diplomatic facility, a military facility, or some other entity like a company affiliated with the United States and the Middle East, the Iranians are going to bring it hard and heavy. I'm going to tell you it's going to happen sometime within the next day or 2 weeks. They're not going to wait that long, and it is going to be ugly. Among all the things I've seen in 6 or 7 years, talking about national security on CNN, I know this one is hard to understand for people who don't do this for a living. This has to be one of the top things I have ever seen when I've been with this organization, CNN. This is profoundly significant for the Middle East, profoundly.
So, General, what's happening at the Pentagon right now? General Hertling, what should we expect from the U.S. moving forward?
Well, what I would be doing if I were back at the Pentagon, which I was when the 9/11 attacks happened, is you would not just be looking at this location, but you'd be looking at other parts of the world. Who else is going to take advantage of this? Is Kim now going to launch something and give us 2 parts of the world to look at? Is Russia going to broaden their adventurism and go into some nation state or go further into Ukraine? Is China going to attack our ships in the South China Sea? All of those things from a strategic perspective,
can they attack your ships if your ships ain't over there?
Taking a look at and saying, where are we vulnerable? What might happen? At the same time, from a tactical perspective, some things have got to be gearing up in terms of messages to embassies where all our Marine Guards are saying, be ready for the kinds of attacks that we've seen in the past. When something like this goes down, where a lot of organizations are leaning forward and saying, where might I go next? What kind of things are going to occur in the Middle East, whether it's a soldier, a sailor, an airman, or Marine? What kind of homeland security measures do we have to take? Our Coast Guard, some of the DHS elements that are going to be put on high alert. I agree with Phil completely. This is one of those kind of things we're not sure what's going to happen exactly, but we've got to prepare for a lot of different things. The other thing I'd say, Iran is based on asymmetric warfare, much like the Russians are. The U.S. is based more on conventional and recently counterinsurgency. So we're going to be facing some asymmetric attacks wherever there are pro-Iranian forces throughout the Middle East. And those could be very small supported groups by Iran, or they could be the kinds of Iraqi groups that are supported by local politicians within Baghdad that lean toward Iran, that have Shia as their background and look at the Republican Guard. You're also going to see some attacks against some of our allies. Interesting to note, Victor, the Council of Foreign Relations put out a top 13 list for 2020 where we should expect attacks, and the kind of proxy war that we're looking at right now that we just turned up the heat on was one of the top 5.
Yeah, but the Council of Foreign Relations isn't a government-elected group. They're just a fucking roundtable group, and that's how they know where to look, because they're sparking the wars themselves. Can't believe you just said, "Oh, the Council of Foreign Relations said." Yeah, they make that shit happen, motherfucker.
This killing of this general, General Hertling, Phil Mudd, David Singer. Thank you all.
Stuff alone is hard. That's why I go to Independence University Online. Click below to learn for yourself.
About Soleimani, the significance of this, and also just what we have been seeing in Iraq over the last 24, 48 hours. What is going on?
The Council on Foreign Relations just put out a list earlier last year where we should be looking for these things. Yeah, I bet they did put the list out on what you should look for. Oh, we probably will do. It'll be like that Kosovo shit, because Kosovo was a war, but they call it like a skirmish or a series of battles, but not a full-fledged war. Oh, but some shit gonna happen, bro. Yeah, some shit is gonna happen. Like, we really shouldn't have killed that dude, yo. This is gonna be kind of bad. Damn, we got 3 hours already? What time is it? Alright. I'll probably get up out of here at like noontime. Yeah, this might just be the intro to World War III. You never know. Fucking pimples. You never know where this shit is headed, bro. Honestly, you don't. They know where it's going. We don't. Oh, they know what they're gonna do. We gotta sit back and enjoy the ride. Hold tight, motherfucker. It might be World War III. It might not be, but hold your britches. Yo, air freshener that shit ain't gonna stop that smell. World War I started with the assassination of Franz Ferdinand by the Black Hand. They killed him and his wife in the motorcade, trying to bring down the last fucking empire, yo. The Ottoman Turks. Yep. The Black Hand assassinated Ferdinand. It was a wrap. England still got their Brexit shit going on. The British exit. They're trying to get the fuck out of here. Yeah. All you gotta do is like, I normally don't keep up with the news, but I will be keeping up with the news for the rest of the weekend. Fuck that. That shit gonna get kind of tense for a minute. You better believe that. This shit is gonna get tense, buddy. Got my new brush. What? Shit sound kind of flimsy. Don't break on me on the first day, motherfucker. I'm on camera. Got my new brush. You know what though? Damn, that shit wide as hell. I would actually need to have something wider. Something larger. Fuck, man. Alright, I guess I'm gonna just have to go grab something real quick, guys. Man, we won't survive to no World War IV. They say we'll blast ourselves back to the fucking Stone Age. Alright. Gotta get a bowl of water. Cause this brush so goddamn wide. You need to be able to dip that bitch. Gotta be able to dip it. Yeah, who armed ISIS? Wild Turkey said, I'm out of this shit, yo. Bye, folks. Doom and gloom. We're all gonna burn in nuclear annihilation. It's the apocalypse. They're gonna fucking burn us all. We're all dead. We're all gonna die. It's over, man. It's a fucking rap, son. I'm not gonna have kids. I'm not gonna see my grandkids. This world is fucked, man. This world is totally screwed, bro. Ooh. Gotta get it wet. Wetness. Everyone hates the Muslims now. Bro, Islam is the second largest religion in the world. Everybody doesn't fucking hate the Muslims. Everybody in America hates the Muslims. So America, that don't mean America will win. Just, I mean, that's weird, bro. Everybody hates the Muslims. Everybody in America probably don't like Muslims. I don't got no problem with nobody. I think all religions are silly. Hey, Jason. Yeah, sure. Oh. I definitely can. Give me like 30, 40 minutes. I get ready and I'll come in. Not a problem, Jason. Not a problem at all. All right, see you in a while. Fuck. Fuck. Yo, I'm too high to go to work right now, yo. I need to come down off this shit a little bit. Ah, shit. Yo, my other man ain't feeling good at work, yo. He was like, oh, you gotta go home. Can you come in early? I look like this right now. I can't go to work like this. Shit, man. Why? Why did I answer that shit? I should have just not answered that shit. Fuck. Yo, my job is super fucking sweet, yo. My job is so sweet, yo. I work for a non-profit organization, right? My title is Program Assistant, which means you're a flunky, which means I do everything that nobody else wants to do. I'm the program assistant. Everybody got their jobs. The shit they don't want to do, they tell me to do that shit. I'm cool with that. You know why? Because where I work at, man, this shit is so nice. And everybody knows their jobs. Everybody does their jobs to the fullest. Everybody goes above and beyond. So I barely get delegated any task. Most of the time, I'm just chilling. I just be chilling. And every day of the week, I don't do the same thing, yo. On Mondays, I do data entry. I take paper data and I put it on the computer. That's it. On Tuesdays, I do like counseling. And I host this thing called Men's Group where I talk with men who are transitioning from prison. Either they're free and clear, or they're on parole or probation or something like that, and they're just trying to, keep their shit together. So we sit down and we hash out ideas in ways that they can progress forward in a positive way in their life. And so I do that on Tuesdays, and that's it. And then on Wednesday nights, I babysit. Like we have We have adult classes called it's Incredible Years parenting classes for people who are at risk of losing custody of their child. Some people take the classes voluntarily, but sometimes it's court ordered to take these parenting classes. And if the parent doesn't have the means or ability for child care, they can bring their kid with them to our facility, and we will take care of your children while you take your class. So you don't have any excuse not to take your fucking class to be a better parent. And while they're in there taking their classes, I play with the kids. And we draw and do origami and paint and watch movies like fucking what's the last one we just watched? Hotel Transylvania or some shit, or The Secret Life of Pets. And that's what I do. I play games with kids and watch movies. I do that on Wednesdays and Thursdays. That's it. And then on Fridays, I go in like late in the day and I do a little bit of maintenance, yo. Like change the light bulb, mop up the hallways and stuff. And that's it. Oh, well, we're on hiatus right now, but also on Tuesday afternoons, we leave our facility and we go to a local projects, a housing complex, apartment complex or whatever. And on Tuesday afternoons, it's called the Skyview program. And all the kids who live in the complex can come to, they have a really nice community center. And they can come to the community center, and for an hour, we help them with their homework. And then for another hour, we do art projects. And so I'm kind of like the art instructor. So every week I come up with like some kind of drawing or painting or something, some kind of craft for the kids to do. And we do that on Tuesdays afternoons. Like my job is chill. But now I gotta go in early on my Friday. When I normally just work from 2 to 6. I don't work from 2 to 6. I'm supposed to work from 2 to 6. But sometimes I go in like 3, leave at 5. Like now, like I can only get a certain amount of hours each week, so me going in early means I'm gonna have to leave early one day next week. I gotta leave early because I went in early. Well, my job too sweet, bro. Too sweet. But it's too fucking sweet, bro. Honestly, sometimes, like if I don't really have nothing to do, I can just leave. Just leave. And come back. Nobody don't say nothing. You take a 30-minute lunch, man, we'll leave. And I've done this with my coworkers and my boss. We'll go for breakfast. Like we have our meetings, our team meetings at a restaurant. Our last team meeting, we met at Panera. We was at Panera for almost 2 hours on the clock. That was and it was a paid lunch, bruh. And then, like I say, next week I just told my boss like, yo, I can't come to work. I gotta go, fucking judge an art show, or I gotta have a meeting. I tell her like I'll take a long lunch because I gotta have a meeting, like with my print stuff, with my what I gotta take to the print shop. I was gonna go early anyway and go to the print shop first and drop off my drawings and stuff and then go to work, but now I gotta go straight to work. So probably one day next week I'll just, that day that I get to leave early, I'll just take it to the print shop then. But like doing shit like that, like they have, and then like everybody knows I'm an artist. They've come to my shows, they support me and stuff. I've done some graphic design projects for my job, and like especially when it comes to anything about art, they're just like, cool, yeah, do it, yeah, whatever. It's some art stuff. Oh yeah, awesome, go ahead. And it's like nice. And then just got a raise, bruh. Only thing is, man, it's kind of far away. I gotta drive like 30 minutes to work, yo. I ain't never really drive that far to work, yo. 30 minutes with bad traffic, that should be 35 minutes sometimes. If they bad traffic and road construction, man, that's about a 40-minute drive, yo. One way. I mean, it's all highway. I can just hit the highway and like, but even, that's what I'm saying, on the highway, it's still a 30-minute ride on the highway. Doing 70. I do like 70, 75. That bitch still take about 30 minutes to get there. If you do the speed limit, it'll always be a fucking 40-minute drive. Fuck that. I just wish that shit was around the corner, yo. I wish I lived like, man, if I lived like 2 blocks from my job, I'd be in fucking heaven right now, bro. You don't even know. This the first job. This the first job I ever liked, yo. I like my job. All the people there, everybody I work with is fucking super fucking nice. And it's like we do a bunch of social worker stuff too. Like we have a lot of social workers, which are normally ladies. And man, these little old ladies, man, they be baking shit all the time. You just go in the kitchen, man, they be fucking muffins and cupcakes and motherfucking fruit breads and all kind of shit, man. You come in there, big ass pots of soup, homemade soup, just sitting on the stove with a sign saying, you know, soup for anybody who wants it. Like, that should be too crazy. Just eat good food all the time, work with chill ass people. My job is not stressful at all. And that's why I answered just now. I know it's the motherfucker calling me from work. They know I don't come to work till 2, so it had to be something. Answer, can you come here early? The other guy's not feeling good. No, I'll do that, no problem, yo. I like my job, yo. I go in early, look out. Cause sometimes I feel like I'll be getting over too good. You know what I'm saying? So anytime they ask me to do something, I just do that shit. The only awkward thing about my job is I am the only black person, male or female, period. I'm in the office with like 30-something people, yo. No black people. The last job I had, for the first 2 years I was there, I was the only black dude there. That shit was weird as shit, bro. For 2 years, only black dude. But that's just the demographics of the region, yo. That shit crazy, bro. The population up here is just all white people. It's just all white people. But they kind of, I think I add that little bit of diversity to the organization, and then plus like I'm kind of I'm locally famous. I ain't gonna lie, yo. Like locally, like motherfuckers know me locally. I've gotten free food because somebody recognized me, like at a restaurant owner. It's like, oh my God, you're Travis? Oh, I love your work. Oh my God, your show was so amazing, and my daughter loved it. And you know what? You don't have to pay for your meal. I'm like, word? Like, yeah, I got it. I'm like, oh, this what's up? Yo, I like these little perks. I like these perks. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit is nice. I remember this was like a few months ago. I went to a bar for the first time. A local bar, just never been in that shit. Like my homegirl, she said, oh, I go there a couple times. She was like, it's kind of cool. And matter of fact, I was waiting to go. I got off work, but I had to have a art meeting about something. But I had an hour in between, and I was like, what the fuck I'm gonna do for an hour? I go sit in the fucking bar, I guess. You know, regular Joe Schmo shit. So I went and sat in the bar, and nobody wasn't in there but the bartender and this older lady, and I sat like 2 seats away from her, not trying to be all distant, but not trying to be extra close, just trying to be normal. I don't know if I overthink shit sometimes, but anyway, she looked at me and she's like, "Are you Prince, the painter?" I said, "Yes, yes I am." She's like, "Oh, I'm such and such, and I love your work." And then the bartender's like, "That's you? You're that guy?" Oh man, he's like, first round's on me. What you want? I'm like, word? He's like, yeah. I was like, I like these perks. I can get used to being local famous. I like being local famous. But that's local too. Like Playroom, that's like a local community, yo. Because there's only it's we're that weird group of people who actually enjoy shit like this. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't say it's a small community, but it is still just like a community. Our own little niche. But that's cool as fuck too. I'm local famous on Playroom, yo. Now we gotta make me like famous, like globally. I wanna do a show in Italy. I wanna have some art in Rome. You know what I'm saying? I wanna go to Sydney to a gallery down there, have some art shown. I gotta be famous. Like Amos. We gonna get there slowly. Cause I ain't gonna stop painting. I'm gonna keep painting all this Black Power shit. You know what I'm saying? Educating the masses, kicking the truth to the young black youth. So we gonna make it. And right now, slow steps, baby steps. Man, I thought I was gonna have a clip of that TV show. I don't want to aggravate them about it because I know they are working hard on that shit. So they must be got busy or behind schedule or whatever. But hopefully, in the next few days, I have a clip from the first episode, a full version of the episode to show you guys. And then that's gonna boost my local fame up a little bit more to where, like, the whole local community gonna know my shit, yo. Like everybody gonna know me, but not know me. They gonna be like, "Oh, I seen this show. I think it was like some art show, or because my cousin was on it, and yeah, my cousin did this show, or you know what, my cousin's husband's sister, she was on this local talk show or something. It's gonna be on TV. It was really," and then everybody will know it like that, like because 7 degrees of separation. I did fucking 8 or 9 interviews with different artists. So of course they're gonna have their family watch it, and then their family's gonna show it, especially their spouses. So the husband's wife is gonna show it to her family and like, "Oh, my husband was on the show," and then it's gonna get around, and everybody's gonna, so they'll know me indirectly. Famous. The only thing is on my TV show, I don't show my art. Now, if I can get this kind of show right here syndicated, where I just show my art, what? Black Bob Ross. The Black Bob Ross. And you know what else too, man? I keep thinking about merchandise, like trying to sell some shit that everybody can own. But I was thinking about some other shit too, yo, like just coming up with my own brand of paints and brushes and shit, yo. Or even just like my own brand of canvases. I might hit up some African company who make a fucking duck cloth out of natural, organic African cotton, and they'll buy my shit direct from the source, and you know what I'm saying, have that shit made like that, yo, or some other shit, like make my shit different. Cause I got the best canvas in the world. Had that. Then you can paint like a prince. You know what I'm saying? You can paint just like a prince. Everybody can paint like a prince. With Prince canvases, with Prince paints. Oh, you can paint like a prince with Prince paints. That's that PP. Prince paints and pastels. I love alliteration. Sober up, motherfucker. Gotta go to work. Shit. They called you in early. Caught me off guard, motherfucker. God damn it. Why they do me like that? That's another reason why I only like working in the mornings. I'm a morning person. I'm up early. Y'all see this? I've been in this motherfucker for almost 4 hours. I done been to the gym and everything, bro. I be up early. I like to get my day started. Man, that's the hardest thing about going to work on Fridays. By the time I got to go to work, well, I'm halfway in the bag, man. Half the day gone. You think I'm just sit here all day just, what? Another job want me to work 3 to 11. I'll be lit by 3 o'clock, nigga. Like, did you want me to go to work? Y'all need to have me working in the morning as soon as I wake up. Let me do that shit as soon as I wake up and then get off at 3 or 4. Then I get lit. They want you to come in halfway through the day, early evening. No. I can't work like that. For this job, I will. This job too sweet. It's too. And it's only one day a week where I'm going at 2 to 6. That's like child's play. It's child's play. And then on Fridays, it's casual Fridays. I'm just wearing some jeans, my nice ass sweater, my Timbs. Going that bitch like I'm going shopping. All right, y'all seen this whole prep work for this canvas, man. It takes And how long has those fires been burning? For a couple days? All right. Let me get this part done so I get the fuck out of here. All right. Okay. All right. Monaco. Sharks over fire? What the fuck are you guys talking about? I wouldn't go to Australia just yet. Still on fire. Alright. Let me get my ass up out of here. That shit gonna be hard. Alright guys, let me take my ass to work. It's burnt sienna. Yeah. In person it looks more brownish. It's like a orangish brown. But that's how I start off all my canvases. This is a perfect in-between example. The same way I just did that one. Outline it, and then tone the canvas, and then you start painting on it. It just looks better if that canvas has that tone on it. And then if you outline it first, you won't lose your drawing. But that really, doing that little bit really does help that first layer of paint just show up better, instead of painting like directly onto a white and onto a white canvas. But, yeah, so all of them start out like that. I like it, you know what I'm saying? Oh, Steve Irwin? Yeah, as soon as you send me that that $200 deposit, I'm gonna get right on that, bro. Shit, I stopped everything I'm doing for the money. Believe that. I'm working on 1, 2, 3, 4 paintings right now for myself. Ain't nobody paying me to do none of this shit. As soon as somebody pay me to do a painting, I'm stopping everything I'm doing. That shit can get on the back burner. I'll come back to that shit later. You about to pay me? Word? Oh, this nigga really sent me a deposit. Oh shit, let me transfer that shit to my account now. Transfer funds now. It's an extra surcharge. I don't give a fuck. Fuck that dollar. Put that shit in my bank account. It went through? Alright, now we can get started on your painting. My good sir, thank you for being a customer with Paintings by the Prince. I'm going to make this one of the most beautiful paintings you've ever seen. One of a kind. Now you see this crocodile? Beautiful animal, beautiful. What you want to do is come up on her from behind. Then you grab her like that. She's gonna try to roll with you. Yeah, that was the fucking man though. Crikey. Yo, Steve was the fucking man, yo. This motherfucker scared of shit. Motherfucker ain't scared of nothing. God damn it. None of these motherfuckers scared this man, yo. Just go drag a crocodile by the tail and jump on him. Grab his mouth closed. Put the tape on it. Put the tape on it. Like. And he just rousted that bitch like it was a kid. Trying to save this beautiful animal's life from the poachers. Damn, Steve. And then the animal took him out like, motherfucker. Stingrays are assholes. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Stingrays are assholes. You're an asshole, Mr. Stingray. You know who that was? You even know? You have no clue, do you? Fucking... Yeah. He didn't know. He was just, it was a defense reaction, and he just stung me. Yo, the illest thing is, yo, that shit was caught. All of it was on camera, like his last breath and everything. And I think his wife said, destroy that shit, yo. Give me that tape and fucking destroy that shit. And then, like, earlier, I agree to say earlier this year, but, well, earlier last year, I saw a picture of his 2 kids. And the motherfuckers are holding snakes and a baby crocodile or something looking just like they fucking daddy, yo. That shit's crazy. Like, they have no fear neither. Nobody ever saw it. If the film crew and his wife was there on this, because that was his wife, you know what I'm saying? And it was the film crew. They all saw that shit. And it was on tape. They say the camera guy got it on tape. And his wife said, destroy that shit, yo. She didn't want anybody to see it. And she didn't want anybody to see that last moment of his life. Just remember him as he was. Fucking funny, lovable, smart, caring dude, yo. Motherfucker just love the animals, yo. Let's remember him like that. No, she ain't want nobody to see that shit, yo. Nobody. No, I don't. Yeah. You coming at who? Fuck you, Peter. It was all an accident. That's what it is. You just out there snorkeling. It wasn't even in deep water or nothing. It was like right off the fucking shore, just snorkeling or some shit. Like just right there. Just looking at some shit, yo, and then bah, that shit just jab his ass right in the fucking heart, they said. Like stung him like they was couldn't been a more perfect aim. Like motherfucker stabbed him right in the fucking heart, yo. They pulled him out the water and he died. He died right there on the fucking beach. All right, guys, I really do gotta go to work. It's almost 12. Yeah. By the time I get ready and actually get there, it'd be like 12:30, almost 1 o'clock or something. Yeah, like I said, I saw the picture of his kids, yo. Motherfuckers, and his wife. I mean, she was always just as good as he was, and so they keeping that shit going, yo. Yo, Drake, what up, bro? I just about to get out of there, bro. I almost did 4 hours in this bitch, in the studio, working on this art, man. Then I would have did longer, but a motherfucking job called me, asked me if I can come in early. So let me get my ass dressed and get the fucking work, yo. Get this shit over with. Yo, appreciate everybody chilling in the stream. If you have not subscribed to this station, definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel. Definitely hit me up on social media, Facebook and Instagram, so you can see my entire art portfolio. Once again, yo, thanks for chilling in the studio, watching me get some progress done on this portrait. So everybody has had the privilege of seeing this piece from the very early stages of the beginning. So if you stick with me for the next couple months, we'll see this whole painting come to a completion, along with the other few pieces that I'm working on. And it is Friday, so tomorrow we can have another good long stream up here in the studio. And I catch you guys then. Peace.